Hi, my name's Rachel and I'm a British Lung Foundation exercise instructor. I've made this video for those with a lung condition who've previously taken part in a pulmonary rehab programme and want to continue doing exercises at home. Regular exercise can help you to breathe better, feel good and do more. Before you start, it's really important to ask yourself if you feel well enough to exercise today. Don't exercise if you have any of these symptoms, and certainly stop if you start to feel any. The symptoms are chest pains and tightness, dizziness or nausea, if you feel clammy or cold, more wheezy than normal, if your joints and muscles hurt, if you feel really unusually tired, or if you have any heart palpitations. If you have any new problems, seek advice from a health professional before you start exercising. This video contains a 30-minute exercise routine, and it will start with an essential warm-up and finish with an equally essential cool-down. The main part of the session will focus on endurance exercises that will help you to improve your stamina and fitness by challenging your breathing. There will be structured rest breaks throughout, but please take rest at any point. Only do what you can manage and what you feel comfortable doing. Remember, breathlessness is normal if you have a lung condition, especially when you exercise. So to ensure you're working at the right level, you should aim to work between a 4 to 6 on the Borg breathlessness scale. This would mean if you're talking, you need to pause for breath after every couple of words. If you're above a 6 on the scale and unable to talk because you're so out of breath, then please slow down or take a rest until you're able to regain control of your breathing. Equally, if you're below a 4 on the scale and can talk easily without much breathlessness, then maybe you could try to do a little bit more. You'll need a few things before you start. This includes a dining room chair if you want to sit to rest, or you can use it to hold on to. If you use a blue inhaler, please have that with you and use it when needed. Have water nearby and take small sips throughout the session. Make sure you're wearing comfortable clothes and fitted shoes. Feel free to pause the video to get these things together and then restart when you're ready to go. So, we're going to begin with the warm-up. A warm-up is essential before any exercise session to help to prepare your body for what's to come and to hopefully reduce the chance of you getting injured or feeling unwell during the exercise. Sit nice and upright in the chair with good posture and avoid using the backrest if possible. Relax the arms by your side and let's start with tilting the ear down towards the shoulder, bring the head back up and then drop the ear down towards the other shoulder. Go at your own pace at this. Next, place the hands on your shoulders and reach up with one arm, stretching up and to the side. Change and do the other arm. Keep the lean within what feels safe for you. Now, let's try an arm movement that we'll be using in the main part of the session today. Reach both arms up and then back to the shoulders, then forwards and back to the shoulders, and down and back to the shoulders. Keep repeating this movement. It can be a tricky one to get, but after some practice, you'll get the hang of it. Relax the arms down to your side and try some big shoulder circles in a backward movement. Now change and try a forward circling movement. Torso twists now, so in your own time sit upright away from the backrest, bring the arms across the front of your chest and turn your upper body to look over your shoulder. Gradually turn back to the centre and turn in the other direction. Keep the movement light and comfortable. Now, sit back in the chair so your back's supported by the backrest. Straighten one leg out, hold for 1 second, and lower back down, repeating on the other side. Keep one leg out straight and draw a circle with your toes. As you do this, try to keep the leg still and only allow the foot to move. At the same time, try and circle the wrists. Change direction of the ankles and the wrists. Swap legs and circle the other foot. Change direction. Try some heel and toe lifts. If you want to challenge for the brain, try and alternate the feet, so as the toe lifts on one foot, the heel lifts of the other. Then change. Let's do some seated activities that will start to increase the heart rate and breathing rate now. Sit upright away from the back of the chair and start to march with the legs only. Now add some arms in. Stop the arms and try doing a higher knee lift. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done, that's the end of the warm-up. Hopefully you feel a little warmer and ready to start the endurance exercises. Pause the video if you need to have a small rest or have some water before we start the first round of exercises today. We're now going to start the endurance exercises. This week we have Martin joining us. He'll be demonstrating the seated and easier versions of all the exercises for those who find the standing ones too difficult. It's important to know that even if you can't manage the whole video, don't give up. Try a small section, then skip to the cool down. If you can only manage to complete one round, then that's better than doing nothing. The first exercise we're going to do is knee lifts. Let's make a start now. Try to lift the knees up nice and high. Stand or sit up tall with a good posture, shoulders back and head up. If you're standing, you may want to hold on to assist your balance, as you'll have one leg off the floor for a bit longer than in a normal march. If you're seated, try to sit away from the backrest and take longer pauses between knee lifts to pace yourself for the minute. Today, we'll be aiming to complete 4 rounds. In this first round, we're going to do 5 exercises and each will last for 1 minute. If you can manage to complete all rounds, then it means you'll be doing a total of 20 minutes today. We want this first round to be fairly gentle, so go steadily. After we've completed this, we'll have a rest break, but remember, you can rest whenever you need to, and especially if you feel your breathing becomes above the severe level on the Borg breathlessness chart. The next exercise is squat and tap. When standing, keep your feet hip distance apart and just try small knee bends to start with. Make sure the knees are bending in the direction your toes are pointing, and when you stand, tap out to the side with the foot. When seated, tip forward slightly to represent the squat, and then tap out to the side with the foot. If this exercise causes you too much pain in your joints, particularly the knees, then make sure you're sticking your bottom out as you bend down. This can sometimes take the strain off the knees. Or you can try shallower knee bends, or avoid it altogether and do a march on the spot. Please go at a speed that's comfortable for you and use this round to get to know the movement. There's 5 seconds left. Right, moving on to hamstring curls. We're just focusing with the legs only movement for this round. Have your feet slightly wider and take the heel back towards your bottom. Try using this pattern for this week. Right, left, right, right. Or single, single, double, double. Single, single, double, double. Again, hold onto the chair if you need more stability here. If you're becoming more breathless now, then try to use pursed lip breathing. It helps you to keep in control of your breathlessness so you can do more. Breathe in, ideally through your nose, and then breathe out through pursed lips, as if you're trying to blow out a candle. Breathe out for double the time it takes you to breathe in. Breathing out for longer ensures that there's enough time for all the old air to come out, so there's more space for the fresh, oxygenated air to come in. Now change to marching on the spot. Stand or sit up tall and try to maintain a good posture. Ideally, try to complete this video regularly, at least 2 times throughout the week, and focus on increasing what you can do each time. Small increases and progressions over time can lead to noticeable improvements in fitness and hopefully in what you can manage to do day to day. Don't be disheartened if you find these videos challenging or you don't see improvement straight away. Stick with it, and after 2 to 3 weeks of regular exercise, hopefully you'll start to notice certain daily tasks becoming that bit easier. There's 10 seconds left before we change. The final exercise in this round is sit to stands. This can be quite a challenging exercise, so only do as many as you can manage. Sit on the chair with either your arms across your chest, or if you need to make it easier, use your arms to help you to get up. Either push up on your legs, or use the arms on the chair if you have them. You can also sit on cushions to make yourself higher in the chair, which can take the pressure off your knees. If you're following Martin, you can either try to stand up, but have longer rests sat down. Or you can stand and hold the back of the chair and do very slight knee bends at a steady pace. For any of the variations, make sure your feet are positioned hip distance apart and try to keep your knees pointing forwards as you stand and sit. Okay, well done. You've completed the first set of 5 exercises. Now, if you don't need to rest, you can take an active recovery and continue to march on the spot. But if you need to rest, then that's fine. Here are several ways you can position your body to help you to recover from breathlessness. At the minute, I'm standing but leaning forwards, stabilising my arms on the back of the chair. This can help to keep your shoulders relaxed and encourages your diaphragm to work better. Or you can adopt the same approach that Martin's sitting in. He's leaning forwards but trying to keep his back straight and is not hunched over. Try to breathe in through your nose and breathe out for longer through pursed lips. Your breathing will return back to normal. Have some water and feel free to pause the video now if you need a longer rest. Hopefully you've had enough rest and your breathing has returned back to normal, ready for this next round. In this round, we're going to start to add in some arm movements. We're going to start with knee lifts. Place your hands together, out in front, and try to bring your knees up to hit your hands. If you want to make it harder for yourself, then hold the hands higher. Or, to make it easier, hold them lower. You can do this exercise holding on if necessary. We want to achieve a good level of breathlessness in this round, so adjust the speed of your movement to help get into the correct breathlessness zone, so you're starting to feel somewhat severely breathless. We have 15 seconds left remaining on this exercise. Let's change to squat and tap with the foot tapping out to the side. Once you've got the hang of that, then try to add the arms lifting out to the side. If standing, keep your feet hip distance apart and make sure the knees are bending in the direction your toes are pointing. If you're sat down, then tip slightly forward, straighten up and then tap the foot to the side, lifting the arms if you can coordinate it. Remember to use pursed lip breathing technique if you're feeling breathless to help keep in control of your breathing. Breathe in through your nose and out through pursed lips. In through the nose and out through pursed lips. There's 15 seconds left of this exercise, so keep it up. Moving on to hamstring curls now, and this time we're sticking with the single, single, double, double pattern, and we're now pulling the arms back as your legs move. This can be quite tricky to coordinate and to remember to stay on the same leg for an extra curl. You can hold on and go at a slower pace to get used to the movement. I find it helpful to say to myself, single, single, double, double, single, single, double, double, as I'm doing the movement. With practice, you'll be able to master this. If you really can't get on with it, then just try the normal version with one leg at a time. Let's do marching, and this round let's engage those brains by reaching up, back to the shoulders, forwards, back to the shoulders, down, back to the shoulders. This is a good challenge for not only your body, but also your brain too. Hold onto the chair if you need extra stability. Keep up the good work with this exercise and don't worry if you get muddled up with the arm movements at times. As long as you're moving in some way, then that's fine. Here's the speeded up version if you'd like to try and give that a go, or you can continue at the steadier pace. When we move to the final exercise, which is sit to stands, I'd like you to try to count how many you can manage. Even if it's only a few and you need to take rests, then that's fine. Also, if it's not the first time doing this video, see if you can try and do a few more than you did last time. Okay, change to sit to stands and count how many you can do. Keep those knees pointing forwards as you stand and sit, and use the blow as you go breathing technique. Breathe in as you sit down and blow out when you stand up. Martin is doing the sit to stands, but resting for longer in between each one. Well done, you're halfway through. Try to control the lowering of yourself back down onto the chair. Sit down softly. In the next round when we do this exercise, if you'd like to make this harder, then you can hold onto something to make the exercise feel heavier. I'll be holding onto a weighted doorstop, but you could hold onto any hand weights you have, food tins or milk cartons filled with water. Great, you've finished. Try to remember or write down how many you managed that time. Now, if you don't need a rest, you can take an active recovery and continue to march on the spot. But if you need to take a rest, then go for it. Here's a reminder of some of the positions you can take to help ease breathlessness. Leaning forwards, stabilising the arms on the back of the chair. This can help, or you can try the approach that Martin's demonstrating in a seated position. Tipping forwards and keeping the back straight. Have small sips of water or pause the video if you need a longer rest break. I hope you're all getting on okay and managing to have a good go at some of these exercises. We're past the halfway point now for this video, so keep doing what you can. If you're finding it too hard, then try the leg-only movements, the seated version, which Martin's demonstrating, or take more rests as we go. Let's start with the knee lifts, and this time lift the knees to the hands, take the arms out to the side and bring them back in to tap the knees. During this round, try to find the correct speed for you to work at. It needs to be at a speed that you can sustain, but is also challenging enough to make you feel somewhat severely breathless. The more you practice this video, the better you'll get at finding what pace works best for you. Also, you'll become more familiar with the exercises and it will make them feel easier to do. Keep going if you can. There's just 15 seconds left remaining of this exercise. Let's change to squat and tap, but this time we're going to tap the foot forwards instead of out to the side. Once you've got the hang of that, then try to add in a forward arm movement. If standing, keep your feet hip distance apart and make sure the knees are bending in the direction your toes are pointing. If you're sat down, then tip slightly forwards, straighten up and then tap the foot forwards, lifting the arms if you can coordinate it. Remember to use the pursed lip breathing technique if you're feeling breathless to help keep in control of your breathing. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out for longer through pursed lips. In through your nose and out for longer through pursed lips. There's 10 seconds remaining here, so keep it up. Now, hamstring curls. Single, single, double, double. Try to add in an upright row movement for this round. This is extremely challenging for the coordination and balance. A standing and seated alternative is normal hamstring curls with the arm movement or just the leg movement. You decide which you'd like to continue with. If this is your first time doing this new video, don't be discouraged if you're not able to do much. Just try and do as much as you can manage this time round and work at a level where you're feeling somewhat severely breathless. Take rests when you need to. After a few times of doing this video and getting used to it, you'll be able to do more. Onto a march now, and this time raise the arms out to the side and then up in front. Please hold on if you need to, or continue as you are. Here is a slower pace version, which you can work at if you're finding this difficult. Or here is a quicker pace you can try to work at and stick to if you want challenging. In 15 seconds we'll change to the final exercise, which is sit to stands. If you want to make this harder, then try holding onto a weight. Or stick with what you did in the previous round. Please count how many you can do. Right, let's change to sit to stands. This time Martin will be demonstrating the shallow knee bend option. So either try that or go at a slow speed on the sit to stands. For all versions, make sure your feet are positioned hip distance apart and try to keep the knees pointing forwards when you're lowering up and down. Blow as you go. So breathe in as you sit down, blow out through pursed lips when you stand. Breathe in as you sit down, blow out through pursed lips when you stand. There's 15 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, that's great. That's the end of round 3. Either carry on marching and take an active recovery, or take a rest now. Have some water and try to recover your breathlessness. Some of the positions we're demonstrating may help you. Stop the video if you need extra rest ready for the final round. Hopefully your breathing has returned back to normal and you're ready to finish off this final round of exercises. Let's begin with knee lifts, and this time tap the knee, then reach up. I'd strongly suggest holding onto something to help your balance if you feel at all unstable. Or you can try the seated version that Martin's demonstrating. Let's try to sustain this exercise for the whole minute if you can, using the pursed lip breathing to help to stay in control of your breathlessness. Breathe in and breathe out for longer through pursed lips. Breathe in and out for longer through pursed lips. Keep lifting those knees nice and high. There's 15 seconds remaining of this exercise. Right, we're on to squat and taps. This time we're tapping the foot back and bring the arms down to your side. If you're seated for this one, then bring your feet slightly forward so it gives you some space to tap the foot back. This is the faster paced version if you want to speed things up a bit. However, don't worry if you're unable to go at this speed. At this point in the session, you'll be feeling more tired and may need to choose some of the easier options. You can either slow down, do the legs only movement, or join Martin with the seated exercises. There's 15 seconds to go, so keep up the good work. Next, change to hamstring curls. Get those legs going first in that single, single, double, double pattern. Then, if you want to make it more difficult, try lifting the arms to the side, then out to the front on the double leg movement. If you're struggling to coordinate this, then follow Martin, who's doing the seated, simple leg movements with no arms. This standing version is extremely tricky, and if you can do it, then you're allowed to feel very smug. Well done. If not, then stick with it, and over the next few times you do this video, hopefully you can improve with it. Keep going, there's 10 seconds left. Let's move on to marching now and have the arms out straight, crossing over in front of the body. Aim to keep the arms level with the shoulders, but if they are getting tired, drop them down and continue for the rest of the minute. Take a look and evaluate how breathless you feel on the Borg breathlessness chart. If you're feeling between 4 to 6, then that's a good level to be working at. Try to maintain what you're doing. If you're feeling above that, then drop the arms and slow down, or have a rest until your breathing becomes more manageable. For those that are below a 4, then try to speed up. When we change to the final sit to stand exercise again, hold a weight if you want to progress, and count how many you can do. Okay, change to sit to stands, off you go. Remember to keep count now. Martin is doing the slower pace sit to stands this time. Try to do the same amount or more of what you've done in the previous rounds. Stick with the blow as you go breathing technique by breathing in as you sit down and blowing out as you stand up. That's halfway now. Well done, keep going, there's 15 more seconds to go. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, you finished the week 4 exercises. If you managed to do the same or more sit to stands there, then that's a great achievement. If you can manage it, I would strongly advise staying on your feet and doing a few minutes of slow marching on the spot to gradually bring down your breathing rate and heart rate. If you are joining Martin with the seated versions, you can stay seated, but just try to do a seated march if you can. Once you've done this, you can take a short rest before we move on to the cool down. We'll now complete the cool down. Hopefully you've done a few minutes of gentle walking on the spot to gradually lower the intensity from the main part of the session. We're going to perform some stretches to help to lengthen the muscles and return your body back to how you felt before you started to exercise. The first stretch we're going to perform is a standing calf stretch. This muscle is located at the back of your lower leg. Place your hand on the chair and place one leg in front of the other. Bend the knee of the front leg and straighten the back leg. Make sure both of your feet are pointing forwards and the heel of your back foot is flat on the floor. Change legs over now, repeating this process. We're going to hold these stretches for approximately 15 to 20 seconds each. Good. The next stretch we're going to do is a seated hamstring stretch, which stretches the muscles at the back of the thigh. Sit towards the edge of the chair so you can straighten the leg. Place the hands just above the bent knee. Sit up tall and then tip forwards until you feel a stretch at the back of the thigh on the straight leg. If you want to increase the intensity of this stretch, you can bring your toes towards you so they point up towards the ceiling. Then you'll feel the stretch further down the leg. Change legs, swap the hands over, sit up tall and sit forward. It's important on all of these stretches not to hold your breath. Try to maintain normal breathing whilst doing these stretches. Bring the toes towards you if you want to feel a deeper stretch. Remember, keep breathing. We're going to change to a side stretch now, so place one hand on the hip and the other hand reaches up and over the body so you can feel a stretch down the side. If you'd prefer, you can have both arms by the side. Either version is fine. Remember to keep breathing here. And we're going to change sides now. Remember, if your shoulder doesn't like being lifted above your head, keep both arms at your side. We're now going to change to a seated upper back stretch. Bring the arms in front, link the fingers together, push your shoulders forwards and drop the head down. You should feel a stretch in the upper back and neck. Try to keep your arms up and keep breathing throughout. Good. Let's change to a chest stretch. So link the fingers together behind the back, pulling the shoulders back or having your hands facing down in the small of your back. Either is fine. The important thing is to pull the shoulders back, lift the lower ribcage up, taking the heart towards the sky. Keep breathing throughout this stretch. We're now going to move into stretching the back of the shoulder. So bring one arm across the body and pull it in towards you with the other arm. Keep the shoulders relaxed and low during this stretch. Change arms now, bringing the other arm across the body, holding near the elbow and pulling the arm in towards the body. Again, you should feel this stretching the back of the shoulder. Next, we're going to stretch the neck. Sit nice and comfortably and tilt the ear down towards the shoulder. You should feel a stretch in the side of the neck. Change to the other side. Relax here as much as you can. Great, the finishing move. Breathing in through the nose, stretching up, and breathing out through pursed lips. Breathing in through the nose, stretching up, and breathing out through pursed lips. One last time, breathing in through the nose, stretching up, and breathing out through pursed lips. And give yourselves a clap. Congratulations, you've now completed all of this video. I've enjoyed taking you through the exercises today, and I hope you found some benefit from doing them. Please try to do this video again, and next time try to do a little bit more. If you've enjoyed this workout, then please like the button below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.